If you've been following the channel for a while now, you probably would have remembered back when I did pretty frequent videos on this thing that Leon Riskin was teasing, which we call the Abyss Project. Now, I came to the conclusion from this trailer that this wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's. And that's because, well, he's been teasing things for a while, and some of those teasers didn't really feel like something that belonged to Five Nights at Freddy's, to be honest. I don't really remember exactly them, but this was the really big kicker for me because he called it the Return of the Black Bloom. And while there's definitely Five Nights at Freddy's assets in this, I'm not going to deny that there's Five Nights at Freddy's connections. I'm pretty sure most of these are Security Breach assets, and Security Breach's assets for the most part were very stock. So I thought it was really strange that I didn't really feel like there was anything here directly connecting it to Five Nights at Freddy's. I could easily have seen this been something that was inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's or something instead. And if this was Five Nights at Freddy's, then this whole black flower having so much emphasis feels really weird. And the fact there's a trailer dropped on Leon Riskin's account in all places also felt really weird. This just felt something that just didn't feel like Five Nights at Freddy's at all. From like the name and its theme, and I understand the connections, but I just never. I thought that I was wrong and that this wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's. I just didn't see it, and a lot of people call this out. And yes, there are flowers in Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm just saying it wasn't really been any important flower imagery like this trailer had. Now, of course, you've seen the title, so you probably have a pretty good suspicion on why I'm talking about this now. Because we've gotten more information. So for a while now, this account's been a thing. It's been doing this weird cryptic build-up for a little bit now, for whatever Leon Riskin's project is. And the big thing I want to talk about is this image that has recently been put in the banner. Oh, what the hell? Twitter, what are you doing? There we go. Now this, whatever, it looks weird, it's glitchy, some green panel, but something that other people discovered here that I admittedly didn't, was this border. This, the computer terminal that this monitor is displaying on. It looks oddly familiar to people who are paying attention more than me. So here's the panel overlaid over Secret of the Mimics computer terminal. And it just lines up. Like, this is just the same model. It's a different, like, material by the looks of it, for sure. But it's just... It lines up perfectly. It looks like a slightly higher poly version, maybe? I can't really tell. Or what I mean is, like, you can kind of see when it, like, jumps to the next polygon here and whatnot, whereas here it looks a lot smoother, you know, outside of the glitches. So I think it might be maybe a slightly higher poly version. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just imagining things. But aside from that, it looks like it lines up perfectly with this model. And that's really interesting, because one of the big things against this for me was that this was all stock assets. Like, if this was like using security breach assets, most security breach assets were stock, so it's like, yeah, sure, anyone could have really used these, and yeah, whatever, it could have been something that's just inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's. I could totally see that. This just is the asset, though, and it is not stock. This was designed by Steelable, specifically Angel Miller, apparently. I found the original concept art. Good job, Angel. I liked your concept art in general, actually. Create some pretty cool assets for the game. But, that's besides the point. The point is, this is a Five Nights at Freddy's asset. So me and my saying of, oh, I was wrong, it's not Five Nights at Freddy's, guys. Oh, there's no way this is Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, there's way that this is Five Nights at Freddy's. Which means that there's a lot of stuff that I need to talk about that I haven't covered because I didn't think it was Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I could go into my documents on my desktop and open every link individually, but Secret of the Marketing Twitter account came in clutch and basically archived everything that could be related to this project. Like, everything, including things that I think are kind of insane, and I really don't think are related, like one of these first ones, like the staff bots, like, that's... Come on, this is Help Wanted 2 for sure. I know it's not in Help Wanted 2, but this feels like something that should have been in Help Wanted 2. I don't think this is for the next game at all, and there's ones that are even more, like, weird than this later on too, if I recall correctly. But the point is, this is everything that could be related. So, this Twitter account has done the hard work for me, I guess, and archived everything. There will be a link to this thread in the description, and I highly suggest that you follow this account if you have Twitter. If you don't have Twitter, don't get Twitter. It's not worth it, I promise you. But, yeah, so if you follow this account, you'll get news from them way faster than you'll get news from me, because it takes me a few days to make my videos. But for now, we're gonna do what I used to do and go on a bit of a nostalgia dive and cover everything. Everything that hasn't been touched in a while, that I haven't reminded people of in a while, and everything new, because it's all archived here. How wonderful. Now, first off, the first obvious tweet, which I'm surprised he didn't link now that I think about it. He linked the other ones, but not this one, whatever, we all know the original one anyway. Leon Riskin posted this song called Elegant Surrender, and, it was for a project called Forgotten Names and Faces. And it was just, I believe the hashtags, something like, oh god, why was this the one that's not linked? It said something like, who will catch you when you fall into the abyss, or something like that. I could be slightly wrong, I don't really remember. And, of course, this is a remix of the Hope Wanted 2 song, Gracefully Into the Abyss. I've played this song a million times already, but we're gonna play it again because... why not? Look guys, I like Leon Riskin's music. Can you blame me for listening to this every time? But yeah, I don't think there was much to theorize on back then, aside from, yo guys, no way, it's the Princess Quest theme remixed. Let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time on each individual tweet. Of course, this one's another big one. So, as Secret Marketing says, info dates back to August 4th of 2024, where Scott Cawthon confirms in August interview that there's a game after Secret of the Mimic already being worked on by Steelwool.
And there is another game planned with Steelwool, but that's not going to be announced for a while yet. So I can't talk about that. But there is something down the pipe, even beyond what's being announced this week. There's something beyond, but I can't talk about that.
I now just realized that my volume was down low, so this probably would have been really quiet for you. I apologize. Now, this is one I was just saying I think it's just kind of insane. I cannot see this being related to the next project. Like, look your best. This is about, like, staff bots looking nice. That's clearly in reference, like, the Hope Wanted 2 minigame where you dress up the staff bots. Everyone's watching you. Reminds me of Hope Wanted 2, like, the text that says they're always watching, I think it says. This is just Hope Wanted 2 stuff. I know it's not used in the game, but this is definitely in reference to Hope Wanted 2. I feel very confident in saying that. Anyway, yeah. This is another one I remember bringing up quite often. DJ Sturf. Oh wait, this is not the DJ Sturf tweet I thought it was referencing. Hey, wait a minute. Oh wait, he does retweet this tweet. Guys, I didn't remember the entire Twitter thread. I'm sorry. Okay, yes, but DJ Sturf tweeted there'd be something relating to Secret of the Mimic releasing in 2026. I completely forgot about this one. Wait, this was a thing. I vaguely remember this, but I did not make a single video where I referenced this, because I forgot about it. That's crazy. See, this is why Secret of the Marketing is the GOAT, because he's got all this information that I just never remembered to cover. But yes, DJ Sturf teased something coming in 2026 about Secret of the Mimic. Now, honestly, I would have theorized that this was a VR mode, to be fair. And I still think it's happening this year. God, I'd hope so. But man, wouldn't it be cool if there was something more? Now, I will say that since this is in direct reference to Secret of the Mimic, I definitely think this is relating to Secret of the Mimic. I don't think this is the Abyss. But hey, Secret of the Marketing covers everything, so we're covering everything. This is the post I was talking about beforehand. Who will catch you when you fall into the Abyss? I think I quoted that correctly. Nice. What is the extra stuff they add on to here? Not much. Seems to imply it follows from Ruin's ending. Buddy, it's a reference to the song being remixed. Because it's gracefully into the Abyss. On the following day, Leon posted an excerpt from the poem Abyss. Yes, it was this. I remember reading this. In deepest, darkest depths of my despair, I find myself without a saving grace. A pendulum of pain prevents my prayer from rising upward through the dead of space. And yeah, this is by Tom Woodliffs. This is when everyone started like referring it as God English, referring to it as the Abyss Project, because this is like the second time Abyss was referenced, because it was like Who Will Catch You Fall Into the Abyss, remix of Gracefully Into the Abyss, and now this is Abyss poem. And yeah, here's the full poem, by the way. I never read the full poem, and I still don't intend to. But apparently, it's about struggle with an inner guilt over the past. Which to me, when I hear this, it makes me think, oh, I actually have read this before, but I just don't think I have in video. It reminds me of Edwin Murray. I definitely think if we are covering characters in a future game who have guilt over something they've done in the past, that fits Edwin's bill so much, I think. Especially considering I'm pretty sure that Edwin Murray is alive and will be very relevant in the future game. Now, specifically, while I'm here, whatever, this is going to be an hour-long video, I don't care. I think Edwin will be in the next game, and I think he'll be that video game trope, because Edwin will be really old in the next game, right? I don't know how old he was in Secret of the Mimic, like 20s maybe? All I know is that Secret of the Mimic's in like the 1970s, and the recent game's in like the 2030s, so like that's a 60-year difference, I think, ish, approximately. We don't know when the next game takes place exactly anyway, so I'm gonna say approximately 60 years difference. On top of the fact he's already 20. So bro should be about like 80 years old the next time we see him. So I definitely think he'll be like this video game trope of like the old man has this made this equipment or something to help you because he wants to tackle this enemy, but he's too old and can't do it himself, so he gives it to you. So I think that will be the trope of that will happen. Like Edwin Murray's an inventor. He'll probably make some invention that helps him defeat the Mimic, but it took him too long, he's too old, so he gives it to Cassie or Gregory or somebody, and then they defeat the Mimic in his place with the technology he created. I believe that's what Edwin's role is going to be. Next off, yeah, this is the DJ Sturf tweet I thought he was going to bring up. So this is the second time Forgotten Names and Faces was referenced, so DJ Sturf and Leon Riskin have both referenced this, so that's the official composer of Five Nights at Freddy's, Leon Riskin, and an official playtester for the series, DJ Sturf. Because, yeah, he says, hopefully it won't be a forgotten name and face or something silly like that. So yeah, definitely, this is when I was convinced it was Five Nights at Freddy's related the first time, before I got unconvinced, and before I got reconvinced again by this image. Alright, oh, this one, I think this one's a crack post. It begins posting full renditions of songs in previous FNaF games. Oh yeah, these random letters, I don't think that's anything. I don't think anyone's found anything in any of them. This is just random Five Nights at Freddy's OST. Honestly, even if there is, even if he has been teasing the next Five Nights at Freddy's game, which I think is likely at this point, I don't know if him posting his soundtrack is tied to that. He posts soundtrack to all of his stuff all the time, and even during this teasing process has been teasing soundtracks to other things, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure if this specifically is anything, but alright, good call out. If you think the letters mean something, have fun, it ain't gonna be me. By the way, passive aggressive, do I remember what song this is? No. Oh, this is Scott's theme from one of the games. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. It's been too long since I played whatever game this was. It must be Freddy in Space 3, right? If I had to take a guess. Yes, this one. I remember this one. So, Leon Riskin posts, elevators can't be trusted, take the stairs, with this song titled Fixing Elevators. Now, this is an old song of his, I'm gonna make that clear, but he has kind of partially recontextualized it and mentioned Betty Lou Oliver, who is someone who has the world record for surviving the longest elevator drop. So that's something a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's fans have connected to Cassie's point in the story. Because, of course, I don't know if I said it earlier, but this Abyss project, we're all just kind of assuming is the next mainline FNaF game, the next one after Ruin, following Cassie's story, and this is kind of like one of the big early things that kind of pushed that theory. We're not going to listen to random music. I just kind of wanted to because I like his music. The hashtags up to you make reference to time machines. What? Go read a book, comma, clean the gutters, comma, do your homework, comma, build a time machine, ellipsis. What? Teasing, make reference of time. What? Is a time machine ready if you decided to simply skip this one? Look, guys, I'm gonna be for real. As much as we've had some weird time shenanigans in Into the Pit, I don't think we're seeing a time machine anytime soon. I think this is just being silly. At least I don't think so anyway. Like, there's no way a time machine will just show up. Maybe it's in reference to things being across time. I don't know about a time machine specifically. I could understand, like, a time motif, though, because this next game could easily be, like, the remains of, like, Murray's costume under Underground or something like that. So it could be, like, the old, like, in the modern story, so linking two different, like, eras of time together, which I guess you could thematically connect to a time machine. I don't think it's going to be more literal, but I could see it being a thematic connection, I guess. I never really thought about it like that, but look, if Secret of the Marketing thinks it's something, then I should probably bring it up anyway. This is actually not my first time trying to record this video. This would definitely be the last, because I'm in too deep now at this point, so if I make screw-ups, we're just going with it. We're just keeping it in. But, earlier on, I tried to record, this one. I tried specifically looking for this, and I just forgot kind of what this sounded like. I completely misremembered what this was entirely. I'm not even going to say what I thought it was. But basically, yeah, Liam Riskin uploaded the Forbidden Nocturne, which is one of the sister location tracks, an original version of it. And, it gets cut off. Also, did I ever make a video on this? I think I did, but I don't think I ever made it public. So I don't think I ever actually talked about it. This was a thing that happened, and I didn't know what to make of it. Okay. That was spooky. Don't know what that's for. I don't even think... It doesn't sound like a jump scare sound that's familiar to Five Freddy's either. It's just kinda spooky. Footstep sounds start playing too, and they go like right to left. Look, I might as well just let it play out. Oops. And then it just starts playing the Five Freddy's World Dungeon theme. What the hell? Transition to Fire Dungeon from Five Freddy's World. It plays in every cave, buddy. This contains a boss fight because an Ender's golden orange eyes. I think you're insane. I don't think Mad Endo is integral to the lore. Yeah, sorry for interrupting the bangers. This is just FNaF World at this point. I'm just gonna stop it. We've all heard FNaF World stuff. Do y'all think Mad Endo is integral to the lore? Is this the secret of the next game? Look, I'll believe it when I see it. If we get Five Nights at Freddy's world relevance, I'd cheer. But to be fair, I don't know what this is here for. To be fair, I don't know what to make of this. So I guess this is better than anything I've got. This is just FNaF World, right? And it doesn't do anything else after. Nope, it definitely does stuff after. Great, that was surely an experience. I interrupted half of that experience with my yapping and fiddling with my microphone. That's okay. No, I'm not professional, I'm not going to pretend to be. On November 3rd, Leon posts that winter is that's a stretch. Ice K, this is him posting... Oh, wait. Oh yeah, this is the unused track from Five Nights at Freddy's World. I remember when this got put in Scott Games. Yeah, he just uploaded a full version. Yeah, that's nice. This is actually just a normal one, right? Yeah, it's just a normal one. Good. Nothing creepy this time. Using a combination of binary and hashtag. Stay. Does it say stay hidden? Hidden. What is hidden? Where does the stay come from? Oh, stay. Hid. N. Oh, yeah, okay, I guess that is a weird cryptic thing. I mean, I'm not remembering half of this. Oh, have my videos been terrible this entire time? Have I been gaslighting people into thinking my news videos were good? How much stuff have I forget? I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't have known how to make anything from this. I mean, I couldn't make an entire video based on, guys, what does stay hidden mean when put with the unused ice cave track from Five Nights at Freddy's World? I got nothing. Winter is coming. Isn't this a Game of Thrones quote? Isn't this like a really famous Game of Thrones quote? Is there a Game of Thrones connection here that no one is making? Actually, speaking of Game of Thrones... you know, I'm already dragging on this video long enough, I might as well bring up the clearly lore integral character here. This guy. This is a Game of Thrones reference, right? Is Black Eyes Freddy Frostbear gonna be integral to the Abyss project? Find out never. Because we'll forget he exists by the time it releases. Yeah, I did talk about this. I don't know when, but I definitely talked about this one. I don't know if I found everything, though. Yeah, Afterlife, the original name of this track. This is like the Underground song, right? Yeah, the Underground track for the subtunnels. Yeah. It was a nice experiment with the sides and catch a chorus. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Gnosis, Snow, bunch of hashtags. What did you find that I didn't find? I'm sure a bunch of stuff. Hello, Smoke, Death, and Mirrors hidden in the cover. Great. Yeah, I don't remember what that was. One tag added Stereognosis, the perception of a full physical object using only touch. I did not know that. Other tags create snowflakes, adding snow at the end. Man, I didn't know about half this stuff. What the hell? Yeah, I'm kind of live reacting to I went past this like kind of quickly just to see it had pretty much everything. I didn't really read all the text. There's stuff here I genuinely never knew about. God, how out of the loop have I been? The perception of a full physical object using only touch. That's fascinating. That is fascinating. Because I immediately, maybe this is a stretch, but I immediately think of Cassie's perception being screwed over because she put on the Vanny mask and has the, what's it called? The chip drilled into her head. What's it called? It has an actual name. Transponder? Question mark? I do not, no, Transponder's a thing from Special Delivery. God, I don't, y'all in chat will know exactly what I'm talking about, but the thing that the mask drills into your head. It messes with her perception, it stops her from being able to see the accurate reality, and allows her to like seemingly teleport, fly, phase through walls. Clearly what she's perceiving is not what she's actually perceiving. So I kind of, when I read stereognosis, the perception of a full physical object using only touch, could this be because her other senses have been seriously screwed over? Is Cassie more messed up than I thought? Maybe I'm overthinking it. Look, I don't know what to make of this, but that's just the first thing that came to my mind because I literally never knew that was hidden in here. I'm related to the current build-up. Chica's secret party. Really, yeah. This is accurate! Finally! Someone actually reported the Chica's secret party stuff accurately. So, a lot of people have some misinformation here. So, DJ Sturf had like this full video, I'm not going to play the full thing, but he talks about the Ultimate Guide 2.0. And one of the things he says is that there's things in the Ultimate Guide 2.0 which hadn't released yet at the time it was being made, which caused it to be really weird when it came out. That was very obviously referring to Secret of the Mimic, because anyone who's like seen the Ultimate Guide 2.0, you would know that the guide just treats Secret of the Mimic as an upcoming project, but then also has content from Secret of the Mimic, so it was really awkward and doesn't really make sense. So it was pretty obvious that when he said that, he was talking about Secret of the Mimic, but for some reason people thought he was referring to Chica's secret party when he says that, which, like, weird. I don't know why people would think that, because it's very obviously Secret of the Mimic. But this is the actual section about Chica's secret party, when he talks about Chapter 13, and yeah, to scan the pages, really analyze it. He says nothing of actual value. It is pretty much just telling people to analyze it. But more recently, we had Scott's comments on Dorco's charity stream, and he just kind of dipped without saying anything useful either. So there's definitely something with Chica's secret party, and we should look into it more. But I don't know what to make of it. I have looked into it, I've thought way too much on it, and I've got nothing. Have fun, pause the video if you really want to look into this, because I've put too much thought into this, and I don't want to think about it any longer. I am going to choose to just wait and see what happens, because I'm not smart enough to decrypt this. We're moving on. And yes, here's the trailer, the dreaded trailer that made me think this wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's, when really, I was just a little stupid. The reference is synesthesia, the perception of one thing from an unrelated sensory input. Oh, is it not just that? Hang on. Am I stupid? Synesthesia. Copilot, why are you automatically activating? You're sinister and evil. Guys, I use Microsoft Bing because it gives me free mine coins. I'm not joking. This is a very important lore drop that I use Bing for mine coins. Perception on one sensory input leads to involuntary experiences, another sensory cognitive pathways. I've never looked into this before. I feel like I've seen other people describe it, but I've never actually looked at the meaning myself. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought it only ever, for some reason, referred to the, seeing colors and hearing music. I didn't realize it was always, this. Which is interesting, because I never thought about it in the perception side of things, what this actually means, how it's about your senses being messed with. This is now the second time we've had a teaser talking about your senses being messed with. This is a recurring theme, and I never noticed that because I'm stupid. W Secret of the Marketing for pointing out things that morons like me never figure out. W Twitter thread. Alright. Yeah, note that while the assets in the teaser all come from separate marketplace asset packs, recreating the sewer pipe exactly would have required hours of analyzing sewer reduced environments. Yeah. This is the one thing that always was weird with me too. It's like, clearly, this was inspired by Security Breach. But there was nothing directly Five Nights at Freddy's in this. I pointed this out too. It was all stock assets. And I don't know if I actually said this part, but the weird thing is I don't think Secret of the Mimic is mostly stock assets. I think that one's more original. If I recall correctly, Secret of the Mimic was a lot more, I mean, I guess, as I said, more original. It was more, if effort was put into the smaller things in that game. because I think that's kind of what that game was going for. Like, Security Breach did too much and didn't really put a lot of, didn't really do any of it really well, whereas Secret of the Mimic didn't do as much, but it did a lot in even the smaller places. So, like, stuff like even walking upstairs feels really good. Have y'all ever noticed how the stairs work in Secret of the Mimic? If you haven't, look at it. Like, go load up Secret of the Mimic next time and walk up a staircase. You'll see what I mean. It's not just a slope like it is in almost every other game. It's, like, actually weirdly good. It's weird the little detail they put in every random little thing in Secret of the Mimic. So it really weirded me out that if this was for the next Five Nights at Freddy's game, why would they go from, like, the high-effort, all-original stuff from Secret of the Mimic back to just stock assets from Security Breach? Like, that feels like a step backwards. It doesn't really make sense to me. So, this is one of the other big reasons why I thought, oh, maybe it's just Leon's thing inspired by Security Breach. But obviously, the more likely answer is honestly that it's not from the game. That this is just some sort of pre-release teaser that's more metaphorical or something like that. That's probably the more likely answer. Because again, I don't think the actual game will just be a copy and paste from Security Breach. I think it will look actually new. It will be a different environment. So I don't think this will be a shot from the actual game, but I could totally still see this being related, more related than I gave it credit for. I mean, it probably definitely is. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I think I've said most of what I wanted to say. And there was somewhere I was going with that, but I don't remember it, and I don't want to sit here for like 5 minutes trying to remember. Right, now we get back to this account that came up randomly. Every 5 days... Was it been every 5 days? Really? Oh, I never noticed. This is the type of... Oh my god. See, again, people who are smart would have picked up on this. But unfortunately, I'm not smart. So I didn't notice that this was a direct connection to 5. This log reads... Floor. Absent. Walk mist. Basement. Floor. Scowls. Great. That's... in absolutely... insane knowledge. I'm so glad that we're somewhere deep below a basement. I'm really glad that no one could have possibly guessed that from previous information. Look, they're being cryptic and cool about it. That's all matters, that's all matters. At the time, this banner had contained a few codes hidden throughout. The banner continuously updated as time goes on, and not much has actually been decoded. Oh. Oh, yeah, no wonder it hasn't been decoded. What the hell are you supposed to do with that? Minutes later, Leon posts this quote which comes from Dark Tower 3 The Wastelands by Stephen King. The book famously features an oversized cyborg bear who wears a radio dish described to look like a metal hat. Look, I don't read Stephen King, I'll take your word for it. Then the heart of the rose opened for him, exposing a yellow dazzle of light, and all thought was swept away in a wave of wonder. Leon, this is about Edwin, isn't it? It's about sending a message. God, why do you respond to this message too? He's responding to some Five Nights at Freddy's related stuff. Guys, I might be a little bit stupid catching on this late. The more and more I go down this Twitter thread, the more and more I just think, man, I really should have picked up on that this was Five Nights at Freddy's a little earlier. Y'all were right. Y'all were right. Our first ARG update features... Is this... Guys, is this really an ARG? Are we really calling it that? I thought ARGs are when you, like, did stuff in the real world. I don't... Does just a Twitter account posting stuff count as an ARG? Does it? I don't know, I think it just counts as a teaser, doesn't it? I don't know if it's alternate reality game if it's not in a different reality. It's still on the internet. It's not in the real world or anything, which I thought was the entire... Whatever, I'm dragging on too much. L. Hell, probably. Loss? No! What do you mean this is a loss? God damn it. What is this? Ugh. How did you people... Was it this... I don't even know where the loss came from at this point. Then links to a training video with no audio visuals. Yeah, I remember hearing about this. The channel itself is not part of it. The description contains another code reading, "Come meet me in hell." Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this video went viral, and wasn't because of Five Nights at Freddy's. It's because it was just a thing. All roads lead to this. Yeah, we're gonna just not look into that more. I'm pretty sure it's like 1, 2, 3. Isn't like the length like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, it is. 12 hours, 34 minutes, 56 seconds. The arg later applies to a video. What? Yeah, this is not part of it, but the account is pretending to be a part of it for fun. So it's another creepy stuff with a flower. Again, a lot of this flower imagery. Okay, decode this for me, please. Um, um, is there no decoding? Does this mean nothing? Has Don got anything? To mimic, see... Uh... Um... Yeah, sure, we're gonna pretend that wasn't a thing. That looked like a kind of crazy theory to me. Another change here. Wow, both still 5 days apart from each other. You say 5 days, you can say 5 nights, it's okay. Those contains clips from stock audio libraries to create a glitched screaming effect. God. Again, it's just creepy stuff. I don't even know if there's anything part of that. Okay, but apparently this is related. 3/4 of fear, or 6... Wait, that's... Wait, hang on a sec. This is probably referring to music notation, not fractions. Had these few bars of Grimwald's beat with 3 anvil hits at the end of each phrase. Had it scribbled at the back of my head for a few years, until there was a chance to create a carousel theme. Glad it survived, unlike other 95% of tiny undocumented ideas that fade without a trace. Relatable. 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 I've had so many video game project ideas over the years, and most of them just vanish. I don't remember 90% of them. But I'm glad that out of all the ones that didn't die, Lean Simulator stayed. We can always count on Lean Simulator to be absolute peak. Ignore my absolutely massive folder of Too Much Five Nights at Freddy's that I made for a reason that's gonna be undone soon, but for now it just looks like a giant shitpost. Carousels are time loops with extra steps. On this saying, yeah, this is a time loop thing, I think I saw him say. The making another reference to time machine to time loops. Paris reference is a quote from Stephen King. Yep, I think a writer's notebook is a great way to immortalize bad ideas. This narrows down the predators after Leon's... What? Come on, we knew that long before this. we knew this long ago, buddy. Then no, this is interesting. This is another time thing. Again, I really don't think that, see, this isn't a time machine, this is a time loop. So this isn't... Again, I think this is a time theme rather than a specific time loop or a time machine. I think it's just the theme of times kind of colliding in a way. So again, I think it's just that idea of like old content from like Secret of the Mimic, new content from the recent games, I think, combining. I think that's what that is, personally. But it is interesting that they've gone back to that theme a second time. Oh yeah, and this stuff. I think I covered this in the video that went, actually today? I believe in 1 minute as of recording, it goes live. But yeah, Scott not addressing anything about Chica's secret party, which I mentioned earlier, I think. Oh yeah, I made a video about this, I think, as I said, going live in literally 1 minute as of recording. It probably went live a couple of days ago as of, like, uploading. So, I think, just some spoilers here, if you haven't seen the video. I think it's Five Nights at Freddy's World 2, personally. I don't think this is Abyss. I know people say that this is like Security Breach 2, but guys, Security Breach 2, when people say that, they mean like the next main installment after Security Breach. And the problem is, that's not the second installment. Like, Scott makes this pretty clear. It's not a 3, but also specifies it's a 2. This is a second installment to something that's been worked on. The next main installment is not the second installment, not even close. It's like installment 12 or something like that we're up to now. This is not the Abyss project. This is definitely something else. I think Five Nights at Freddy's World 2, but there's just no way I can see this being like the next mainline game, because we're just way past the second installment at this point. Unless, of course, it's a Help 2 situation where it's just security breach. It is literally security breach 2, and it literally just is security breach again. But I really don't think so. I don't think Cassie's story makes sense to be that. Anyway, moving on. What are this? Octothorpe, M400s. Oh wait, the middle text. Enjoy the music and don't forget to smell the flowers. Enjoy the music. Everything is changing. Don't smell the flowers. Ooh. Cool. Again, it's a lot of flower imagery. This is a very common thing. This is the most common thing with this Abyss project, or I mean, we're assuming this is Abyss project. The flower imagery everywhere. From previously, from the trailer, from all these comments that have been coming out. So much flower imagery. I'm very curious to see where that goes. Now, from the black flower, I forgot to mention it earlier. I should have mentioned it, but I forgot. The Return of the Black Bloom. I think someone called out, but maybe it was Dorco? I don't know, I don't really remember. That black flowers are often associated with death. But I think that this is relating to, like, other flowers. Like, there was a different flower before, this is a different flower again. I think it's just flowers, maybe in general. I'm not sure how flowers tie into this. This is like my big question mark. Like, if this is Five Nights at Freddy's, why are flowers really important suddenly? I'm really curious of what that's going to be, if it's just symbolism or if it's something bigger. I mean, to be fair, like, it could be referenced like a code name or something. Because we know, like, Ruin's code name was Chowder, and Chowder was not important to Ruin whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure there was teasers about, like, the Chowder poster and stuff. So they leaned into the Chowder stuff, and that was just a funny detail. Maybe the flowers is just that. Maybe Black Bloom or something is an internal code name, and it's just not important, and just, it's what they've called it, and so they're leaning into it. Maybe that's what it is, but it's, I don't know, it feels important. Move on. This is what I covered first, and the big thing that made me think this was Five Nights at Freddy's. So, the actual tweet. People were... Right, there was a poll, actually. Scroll down. Yeah. And you got to pick a number, and if you picked... And everyone picked 5, because everything was 5 days apart, and everyone's expecting Five Nights at Freddy's. And, yeah. Last week, they held a vote, and a week later acknowledged the vote with an updated banner which bears a striking resemblance to Secret of the Mimic Eternals. Yep, aligned with them near perfectly. Yeah, and that's not a coincidence. There's no way that's a coincidence. If this is a coincidence, that's just absolutely insane. It's gotta be Five Nights at Freddy's. I have to be wrong here, especially now that I'm going through this Twitter thread and seeing that there's even more connections than what I knew. I definitely feel confident saying now that I was wrong. X2. This is Five Nights at Freddy's. This is the Abyss project. Y'all were right. Y'all were calling me out in the comment section. Y'all were onto something. You were smarter than I am. Sorry. Look, sometimes we're not smart all the time. Now, I don't know what the deal with all these 5s are. I guess it's just because we said 5. Maybe there's nothing bigger or deeper to this. Comment section. Wow. Same amount of space bill system location. Didn't someone else? I'm pretty sure I remember someone saying it's enough 5-spell security breach for my Discord server. I don't know. I don't know. How many 5s is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 5s. That is quite a specific number, isn't it? But it's to the power of 5. We're just gonna... You can do to the power of, right? Windows calculator, you can do this, right? Got me covered? That number. Whoa. I'm sure we, or bigger. I mean, maybe if we should supposed to be adding, or I don't know, pick a math of your choosing. I don't think there's any way we can get a good number out of this we can actually work with. I say as if there's a number we can work with. Little old news, Luma's gonna upload this trailer to an indie games development group. Yeah, I mean, it's kinda obviously a game. I don't know. Even when we thought it wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's, it was, well, obviously it was, the other alternative was it was a project by Leon, that was also a game project. But interesting, this is definitely a game, yeah. And now that's the end of the thread. I know most of this has just been going through someone else's content, like, because Secret Marketing made the thread again, props to them. But really, there was a lot here, and they went way more in depth than I ever have, that I just felt like he would be doing a disservice not going through the entire thread. So, that's my recap today of everything. How long have I been going? Like half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I knew this would be a long one. But hey, that's what I get for needing to recap so much information. If more information comes out, I think I won't recap from the beginning anymore because these videos are getting long. I'm only doing it this time because I've kind of neglected it for too long, and I kind of feel like I need to do a big catch-up and do my thoughts on everything and go through the Twitter thread, so I felt it was worth doing a long one today. But next time, I think I'll just cover like the last few new things, so it isn't just an increasingly long video. But since this is the end, then I'd like to say thank you for watching. Give me your thoughts on what you think all this is going to amount to. Again, I changed my mind. I definitely am now back on the belief that the Abyss project is Five Nights at Freddy's. There's more connections than I even remembered. There's the original connections. There's the newer, in my opinion, most solid connections. Even more other connections. I definitely think it is. I may not have thought that when the trailer went up, but I do think it is now. Let me guys know what you think, and hopefully this video recording went well, because, I mean, it's 46 minutes. If I have to re-record this, I'd be upset. There's probably plenty of time. Look, I'm peeking. Oh god, how many times was I screaming too loud into the mic? Look, we're living with it. I'm not re-recording this. This is your news video. If it was scuffed, I apologize. But I'll see you in the next one. The next video should be on Glitch Trap. I think I said that in the last video that went live 7 minutes ago as of recording. That the next video will be on Glitch Trap. But my next video ended up being this instead because, I mean, I couldn't just ignore this. So, next video is on Glitch Trap. And, so yeah. See you then, hopefully.